Hey guys, happy Monday. Welcome back from your weekend. I hope you had an awesome weekend, and we are jumping into a new unit. I'm super excited. We're going to be jumping into fractions, and because we just did division with decimals, we're going to jump in and do division with fractions. So I think this is going to be really awesome, and this is just a super quick video to get you guys up to speed on the vocab that you're going to need, and a couple quick review vocab pieces. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be quick, and I miss you guys. Okay guys, so really quickly here, just to keep track of everything that we are doing, we know that we have a dividend and a divisor when we are dividing, and so it's going to be incredibly important that you know which of your numbers is the dividend and which one's the divisor. All right, so this is going to be the same as when we were doing with decimals, but we want to make sure that it is super clear. So your dividend, right here, that first number that you read, the one that is being divided or shared into groups, that's your total amount. And your divisor here, that's telling you how many groups you're going to be making. Or another way to think about it is asking you how many times can the divisor fit into the dividend. All right, super important. You guys already know this one. This is the quotient. I didn't include it in there because you guys got it. All right, so you guys have these pieces, and again, it's going to be absolutely important that you know which one is which, even when we get to word problems, anytime. All right, you're going to see what we're going to talk about in our next piece of vocab, that we're going to need to know the divisor. It's going to be super important. One more piece I want to add in before we go on to our new vocab is just to review fraction form. And I specifically mean fraction form when we're talking about a whole number. So, for example, if I have the number 5, if I want to write 5 as a fraction, it is going to be equal to what? Think about it in your head. How do I write the number 5 as a fraction? This is from 4th grade. You've done it before, but it's been a while. So just to review, remember this is division, so you could think about 5 divided by what equals 5? 5 divided by 1 equals 5. So remember that any whole number can be written as a fraction over 1. All right, and anytime you have a fraction over 1, it's just equal to that original number. So just keep that in mind. That is going to be super important. I gotta get better at using this thing. This is important. Okay guys, now I'm gonna go on to our new vocab. It's just one word, all right? I told you guys we're gonna be quick on this, and I even got it all set up. So here is our new word. You may briefly, vaguely, a tiny bit remember this word reciprocal. From when we did those computation pages in the mornings, those ones with all the squares on them. The word is reciprocal, and another word is multiplicative inverse. All right, that multiplicative inverse. You guys have heard the word inverse before. You guys hear me go blah 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 blah. Check with the inverse operation or the related operation. Inverse is a fancy word that means opposite. And you guys know multiplicative means we're going to multiply. Cute. So the reciprocal really means that we're multiplying by the opposite. Super weird. Let's talk about what that means. I'm going to define the word reciprocal, and then we'll get into it. So a reciprocal is a pair of numbers. Reciprocal is a pair of numbers that when multiplied together equals 1. Two numbers that multiply to equal 1. So let's look at what that means. If I have the number, let's just go back to 5. 5, what can I multiply to equal 1? 5 times, I'm going to tell you it's 1/5 equals 1. all right? So 1/5 is the reciprocal of 5. It's that opposite number that when we multiply them together, they're going to equal 1. Another one, if we had 1/3. 1/3 multiplied by what number will equal 1? Well, how many 1/3s do I need to have a complete whole? Here are my thirds. If I have one of them, how many do I need to have a complete whole? I need to multiply my 1/3 by 3. 1/3 multiplied by 3 equals 1. So again, this would be the reciprocal, all right? So what I want you to remember is that we said that any whole number could be written as a fraction over 1. So what we really start to see here is, let me clean this up a little bit. What we really start to see is something that looks like this. 5 over 1 times 1 over 5 equals 1. 1 over 3 times 3 over 1 equals 1. So we're going to be using this a lot. But here's the tricky part. The reason I want you guys to be extra on top of your vocab is because we will only ever use the reciprocal with the divisor. We will never find the reciprocal of the dividend, all right? When we find the reciprocal, what it means is if we have a division problem, we can multiply by the opposite, and that will solve our division problem for us. But I'm not going to get into that now. More on that in my later videos. This was just your vocab. So make sure that you review. You know where your dividend is. You know where your divisor is. You know what those things mean. You remember how you can write in fraction form. And I will chat at you later.